If a picture truly speaks 1,000 words, why am I interviewing the photographer? Huh, some exciting stuff, photography-wise, with one of our very own behind the scenes coming up on today's River Talk. Well, hello there. Welcome to the Coastal Ale House. It's time to jump headfirst into a little something called, wait for it, River Talk. How are you? Good to have you with us. Hello, Robbie Bischoff.
Hello again, Jack.
This is weird for me because you work behind the scenes.
Yes.
Somebody's multitasking. Someone's filling in for you.
Yes, that would be Nick. He's back there right now.
Nick's got it covered?
Oh, Nick's got it covered.
For those that may not know, we have a pretty good team of broadcast professionals that kind of make the show go on.
Definitely.
I have the least important job of anybody on the show. I mean, it's River Talk with Jack Murphy, but River Talk is really created by you and Donald and Nick and setting up the cameras and the lighting, and I just sit around and talk and listen. So I hope I get to do a lot of that. Listening,
Very
more
much
so than talking. But you've always had kind of like an eye for still photography in addition to the full-blown video, right?
Yeah. It wasn't until recently that I actually started using that eye to do anything with, I mean, one, I didn't have the equipment, and two, when I was working at a TV station, I was working really long days and didn't really have time to get out and kind of do my own thing.
Yeah.
Working with Donald here at Lucky Dog and a couple other different production companies I work with, it gives me a little bit more spare time to focus on doing something that just kind of my interest and what really kind of gets me going. So photography is one of those.
Huh. Where did you pick up this eye for photography? I mean, do you have family members?
I think it runs in the family.
Yeah.
I really do, because I'm not the only one. I mean, my sister, older sister, she's a pretty good photographer, and she's also a really good artist. She draws really well, and everybody in my family has sort of an eye for some kind of talent, whether it be photography or musician, or it kind of all leans in that direction. So we're all kind of, and most of us are electronically inclined too. So, we get the computers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
get it going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys sit around, I mean, when Thanksgiving rolls around, do you talk at the dinner table, or do you just text with your electronically inclined devices?
No, we talk. I mean, that's pretty much Thanksgiving and Easter and stuff like that. The rare times we all get together, and we'll pretty much, talk, and sometimes it's even about, photography or something like that, and anything in general. So
what's your favorite thing to photograph? Is it landscape or?
Landscapes, by far, and especially landscapes with changing weather. I mean, that's kind of, because I've always been like a weather buff.
Yeah, you wanted to be a weatherman.
Yeah, I wanted to be a meteorologist. So, I think to me the most exciting things are sunsets and sunrises. I think that's, to me, when you can get the prettiest colors, the most variation of the sky, whether it be the clouds shading different colors, or even on a clear sunset or sunrise, you can get some different colors in the atmosphere as it's going down. And sometimes I enhance those colors in my photographs and make them stick out a little bit more so you can see them. So that's these.
You're not going to tell me how you do that, are you?
I'm not going to give you the whole process. No,
yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that. So, yeah, I will say the one thing about my photography that kind of stands out is I mainly specialize in high dynamic range photography, which is for short HDR photography. And to keep that really simple, what you do basically is I'll take a couple stills back to back with different exposures of the same thing.
Okay.
And then when I get home and I go into the post, I take and combine those exposures, and what it does is it gives you best of each one, and you get more of what's in the shadows, and you can kind of control what's not in the shadows. So where like normally you take a picture of a house with the sun setting behind it or something, you might, if you want the sky to look really nice and colorful, you're going to have to take your exposure down, and then everything else is going to be dark in the shade.
Okay, I got you. Right.
So when you raise that up, and now you can put them together, so now you've got a really colorful sky, but you've also got the landscape, which normally would be shadowed. It's all clear and sticks out like kind of like a 3D photo, so you can see the best of both worlds in that picture.
Huh. Are you using Photoshop? Is that what you're using to do this?
I use Photoshop, and I use another program called Photomatix Pro, which is, I mainly use that to merge the photos together. And then I usually go into Adobe Photoshop to do like the enhancing of the colors and the little tone mapping and stuff like that to my photos.
Crazy stuff. So where's this going? I mean, have you got a website where people can see your
Yes, I do have a website.
Photographs?
It's rbischoffphotography.com.
Okay.
I've already spelled it out for the
so it's right
thing
there
on the
on
bottom
the
of the screen.
okay.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about breaking that down for you. But it's rbischoffphotography.com. And on there, you can go to my Facebook page from there and make sure you like it and kind of take a look at my photos. And you have the opportunity on that page to purchase some of my work as well. There'll be a little purchase tab like on the right-hand side corner.
You got your little revenue stream going?
Yes.
I love that, man. Put it right there. That's good, because the more money you make there, the less comes out of my paycheck here on River Talk. So that's good. Yeah. That's awesome, man, that you found like your niche.
Yeah.
They say you find what your niche is, and that leads to riches, and you're not doing it for money, but you're just doing it for the love of the hobby.
No, definitely. I mean, this is more of my side project, and if it makes me some money, that's awesome, But, I also have the other things I work for, and that's kind of my main source of income. But, photography is just one of those where I can go out and have fun and shoot whatever I want to shoot, and if I make some money off of it, that's awesome.
Well, through Facebook, you've tagged me on a lot of photos, and so I jokingly said this, but it's true. Now, when I see a beautiful sunrise or a sunset, I'm almost tempted to call you because I think of you. That's kind of how weird is that for me to publicly say when I see a beautiful sunset, I think of Robbie? That's weird, isn't it?
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
It sounds weird, but it's because of the photography. We're going to take a breather and come back and take a look at some of your photographs, some of your better work. It's beautiful stuff. Stay tuned. You'll get to see the eye of Robbie Bischoff coming up as River Talk rolls on. Welcome back. River Talk rolls on. Behind the scenes, he makes us look good on TV. As a child, he wanted to be a meteorologist. I bet you spent a lot of time with Ed Piotrowski.
Yes, I did. He pretty much got me into business. Yeah, definitely. He's a good guy.
I was all into the cloud formations and stuff as a kid. I found like this kit. One of the many businesses that my family had was a used car business. And a lot of cars would come in from the auction, and one of my extra ways to make money was to do cleanup and detail work on these cars so before we put them on the lot or took them back to auction to sell. And I had this huge meteorology kit, chemical set in the back of a car, and it was neat, man. And I was doing temperature and the wind direction and all of that really cool stuff. What is that called? An anemometer? What is that?
I can't give you the name. You got me on the spot here.
I can't think what that.
I can tell you some of the separate ones, but I mean, I had like one that was just a barometer, a thermometer, and I don't know what the one that is that measures humidity in the air. But I used to have one with those three on it, and later I got like one of those electronic weather kits that had like the wind speed and all that. I had like the little wind gauge and all.
Oh yeah, I had all that. Yeah, I was there.
But that was pretty awesome. But I used to love that stuff. I still do.
Yeah. Pretty neat. Now, in the clouds, you can see, and it's kind of neat to know what a few clouds are. Kind of impress people when you're out having a backyard barbecue.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not very good at naming. I can tell you a few of them, but I'm not like an expert at it by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I think you made the right decision into the photography, man, because this is some beautiful stuff. You hand them to me. I don't want to really get my fingerprints.
And I think we're gonna be showing these up full too. But yeah, that's first one. That's the most recent shoot I went on, and I took that standing on Pier 14, looking back at Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And that was pretty much right as the sun was setting. And there weren't a lot of clouds in the sky that day, but we had just a little bit going through like where the sky wheel was and everything. So that really made for a beautiful photo. But the one coming up next is the one that I think, in my opinion, is one of the best ones I've ever taken. Was in that same day, that same sunset, we had this close-up of the sky wheel here.
Jeez, look at that! I mean, that just pops.
The cloud, all the colors in the clouds were, they were all there. I didn't add, because I've had people ask me, did you add any color to that?
Right.
And I was like, I didn't add any colors. I just took the saturation up on the colors that were already there to enhance it. So that's one of my favorites because. And then somebody else pointed out to me 2 or 3 days later, I didn't even notice, they were like, well, did you notice that the colors on the sky wheel lights matched the colors in the sky. And I was like, no, I didn't even see that. So
wow.
that makes it one of my favorite pictures.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
really, really pretty. It really is.
And then this is another one from the same session. This is right after the sun had set. We still had a little bit of a purple in the sky at that point. And this is looking over, I think that's the 2nd Avenue Pier in Myrtle Beach. And you know, I just love it because the ocean and the way the sun was reflecting at that time gave it more of an aqua glow than a blue color. And the sky, like I said, still had that purple in it. So that's, you know, those were my latest one. I did that just a couple weeks ago. When it comes to sunrises, my favorite sunrise picture would be the one I did. I actually took this on my birthday. And
that's cool.
This is out in Myrtle Beach, almost in the same place where I was before with these pictures, but looking out, because that's Pier 14 there. And it was one of the most beautiful sunrises I think I've ever seen. And just the way the colors in the clouds reflect off the little puddles of water and everything, that one has, you know, gotten a lot of people have liked that one that I've known, you know, said, oh, that's a really, really good one. Yeah. That one sticks out pretty well.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And then going back to another sunset, this is the sunset off the Marsh Walk. This is in Murrells Inlet. And once again, I think I'm just blessed to get these awesome sunrises and sunsets. Me and my friend Steve went out there that night, and you know, we're kind of like, well, there's a lot of clouds in the sky today. We might have a really good sunset. And we both kind of went out and took some pictures, and I feel that was one of my best. And also, I really didn't have to do a lot of enhancement to that one.
Right.
That one's one of those that I just kind of left almost like it was when I took it.
Yeah.
Beautiful purples and pinks in the sky that night, though.
Wow.
So that was awesome.
That's beautiful.
So, you know, those are sunrises and sunsets. If you want to get into more of the nighttime stuff, you know, I have a few. Like this one is, can you guess what that is by looking at it? Can you tell me where that might be?
Barefoot Landing?
No, it's Murrells Inlet, and I think that's Goat Island. That's like the little island off the Marsh Walk. Everybody calls it Goat Island because I guess at certain times of the year they have goats on there and you can look at them. So, but that's the island at night, right after the sun had set. And once again, we've got some purples and some deep blues in the sky as the sun was setting that night. This is another one that you might recognize from around the area. This is actually not very far from where we are now. This is in Conway. And this is I don't know what the church is called, but it was just a very beautiful sunset, and I did this close-up shot of the steeple here. Wow. And it really surprised me how well that one came out, but that's one of my other favorites too. So
that's really, really awesome, man.
And then another night one I've got here is, and you know, I don't know how much time we got here, so you tell me when to stop.
Yeah, I'll let you know when to go.
But this is the Grand Strand at night. This is taken from the Pier 14. And, you know, I kind of like this one because it's more natural. I didn't really do a ton of enhancement to it. And, you know, you can see the stars in the sky, too. It's really hard to see it in the print, but when you see the photo close up and everything, you can see the stars and everything. This is, I think it's Grand Park is what I believe it's called, Market Common. This is another sunset.
Oh, that's neat.
And that one was reflecting.
The fountain.
Yeah,
that's
the fountain.
Cool.
The sun was really hitting that pretty well that day. Right when the sun was setting, and we got I got a pretty good image of that as it was coming through. And this is the same area too, but only a nighttime picture. And I used the star filter to kind of make the lights.
Oh, I gotcha.
Kind of glow like stars.
That's pretty,
you know? So that's another one from Grand Park and Market Common, and I really like that one. You know, I did a little enhancing on the trees to bring them out a little more, so you can see more like a highlight on them.
Right.
And then the final one I got here is from looking out from the Riverwalk in Conway. If you're looking back, I think it's toward more like the south, I think, on that, or the north. I don't know.
Son, you better know your difference between north and south now.
When I'm standing there, I didn't really think about it at the time, but that's definitely looking out from the Riverwalk. And the trees had the whole reflection of everything was like perfect.
It's just absolutely perfect, because if you do that,
you can't tell which is which. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, and I like that.
That's awesome.
So that's another one of my favorites.
So people can buy these prints. They're framed and everything. And
well, they can choose canvas prints. You know, if they want to go that far with it, or if they just want to get a couple regular prints. You know, there's all sorts of available options.
Are you for hire?
Yeah. I mean, you know, if anybody wants me to take any pictures. Like I said, you know, mainly like this kind of stuff is what I specialize in. I'm not really into like doing the family portraits and the stuff like that. I feel there's a lot of people out there who can do it.
Sure, yeah.
And do it a lot better than me, per se, at this point. So I mainly stick to this kind of stuff, you know.
But it'd be kind of neat for people who buy like a new home to go out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, to film some properties or something like that.
Well, I got to go, man, but good.
All right, thank you.
You got to actually go to work now.
Yes, I do.
Hey, come on back. Stay tuned. More River Talk straight ahead.